Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. The roller coaster, the up and down of everything that's going to be going down with UFC 189 finally needs to be put behind us, because here we are, the week of UFC 189, the big fight going down at UFC International Fight Week is finally here. This month in July started a new, generation for UFC. They're basically taking themselves and becoming more of a corporation. Of course, their UFC Reebok uniform went into effect, and their drug testing went into effect with new, harder penalties on guys who break the drug laws of UFC and mixed martial arts. And, this is supposed to be the Super Bowl of MMA. This is supposed to be the biggest, baddest fight of the year. This is supposed to be, there's not going to be a bigger show other than this. I mean, you need to stack this big time. And I think that honestly, when they put pen to paper and they figured out that Conor McGregor going up against Jose Aldo for the featherweight championship at UFC 189 was going to be huge buys, was going to be huge people, flying into Vegas to be a part of this fight. And unfortunately, with the injury to Jose Aldo, we're not going to be getting the fight that we thought we were going to get. Basically, Conor McGregor is staying in the main event, and instead Chad Mendes is going to be sliding in. This fight is going to be for an interim championship that the champion will, fight with the title until Jose Aldo is able to come back and compete. A lot of people are saying that this fight basically is not going to be too far down the road. Basically, there's a lot of bad blood between Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor. There was a lot of shots fired between the two, whether if it was Conor getting a win and climbing the cage and getting right into Jose Aldo's face, or basically calling him a pussy once the injury was released and people were waiting to see the results if Jose Aldo was going to be able to pass the physical and be able to fight in this fight or not. But definitely, you can see where Jose Aldo stands with UFC. Definitely, he's a long reigning champion in the featherweight division of UFC. He's made UFC a lot of money. He's made a lot of money. But you can definitely tell that there's Dana White and Jose Aldo do have bad blood between each other, because basically Dana White took a shot at Jose Aldo about how many fights that basically he's pulled out of. And this is supposed to be one that made a lot of money. And basically Dana White pulled up, guaranteed Jose Aldo that his payday was going to be as much for the fight if he lost or if he won. He guaranteed him an automatic rematch as soon as he wanted to do it. Dana White did everything he could do to try and keep UFC 189 the way that it was supposed to be. But as of right now, we need to take that fight, ball it up and throw it in the trash can. Because as of right now, Conor McGregor, one of my favorite fighters in UFC, if not the favorite fighter that there is, has the biggest fight of his life. That's what people thought about the Jose Aldo fight. Conor McGregor, a guy that is a lot like Chael Sonnen, a guy that's able to talk himself into big fights. A lot of people thought that Conor McGregor basically skipped over Chad Mendes for the one reason of running his mouth. Chad Mendes is no slouch. Basically, Chad Mendes has fought 19 times for UFC, and he's won 17 of those. The two fights that he has lost were both against Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo is sort of Mendes's a guy that he just can't get past. You know what I mean? Mendes fought Jose Aldo at, I had just looked this up, in 2012, and that was the first time that he'd ever lost a fight. And then from there, he built himself up. It took him 2 years to get to UFC 189. That's where he lost to Jose Aldo, which was the fight of the year for 2014, where the fight went the distance. Neither guys were able to get over on the other one, but it was unanimous decision that Jose Aldo kept the championship. But there was thoughts that they would be doing this fight one more time after how great the 2014 fight was. But McGregor was able to talk himself and sort of put him in the limelight of just being a huge star. Mendes, a very good fighter, a very good wrestler, fighting out of Sacramento, California. Lots of people think that Mendes is the favorite to win this fight, even though he wasn't supposed to be in this fight to begin with. And Conor is really taking a risk in order to get into this fight. Conor McGregor is sort of a character in UFC that is basically going to be able to talk him into himself in the big fights the rest of his life. Win, lose, or draw. But definitely I think that Conor McGregor has built himself into being a star that needs to step up and win this fight. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a good one. A lot of people are going to be flying into Vegas for Fight Week, and this is the one reason why everybody goes. This stacked UFC 189. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm going to be going for Conor McGregor. Like I said, he is my favorite fighter. I do think that he has a fight that is very hard, but I definitely think that he can overcome it and become the champion and see when this Jose Aldo fight finally will happen down the road.